Once upon a time, there lived a young girl named Mira. Mira had always been a joyful and carefree soul. But one day, a deep sadness started to take root in her heart. No matter how hard she tried to shake it off, the weight of it lingered. One day, after hearing whispers about a wise Zen master who lived by the river, Mira decided to seek him out. She journeyed for days until she arrived at the riverbank, where the Zen master sat watching the flowing water. With a heavy heart, Mira approached him and asked, "Master, I feel overwhelmed with sadness. How can I find peace and release it?" The master, with a calm and steady voice, replied, "Come, sit with me by the river." Mira sat down next to the master, watching the river's water flow endlessly. "What do you see?" the master asked. Mira gazed at the river and replied, "I see the water flowing, always moving, never stopping." The master nodded and asked, "Do you see how the water carries leaves, twigs, and stones along its way?" "Yes," Mira answered. "The water moves around them, carrying them forward." The master smiled and said, "Sadness is like the objects in the river. It comes and it goes, carried by the flow of life. It doesn't stay forever, and neither should you try to hold on to it. You cannot stop the river from flowing, just as you cannot stop sadness from arising in your heart. But just like the water, it will eventually pass." Mira thought for a moment, then asked, "But master, how do I let go of it? It feels so heavy inside me." The master looked at her with kind eyes and said, "Imagine you are holding a stone. The more tightly you grip it, the more your hand hurts. The stone may be heavy, but the pain comes from holding on too tightly. If you open your hand, the stone will fall, and the pain will ease. Sadness, too, needs to be held with an open heart. Let it flow through you without holding on, and you will find relief." Mira looked down at her hands, remembering the stone the master had spoken of. She realized that she had been holding on to her sadness tightly, not allowing it to pass through her. She had been afraid to feel it, afraid to let it go. But now she understood that the way to release it was not by fighting it, but by letting it move through her, just like the water in the river. The master continued, "Feel the sadness as it comes, but remember that it is not your identity. It is just like the leaves and stones in the river, something that moves through you, not something you are. Let it pass, and soon you will find the calmness that was always there."